One key area of development of international law, closely related to the efforts to address mass atrocity crimes, is international human rights law, a body of law premised on the notion spelled out in the preamble to the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights adopted by the United Nations, that recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. The declaration proceeded to stipulate, inter alia, that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. This is Article 1. That everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration without distinction of any kind. This is Article 2 of the declaration. And that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. That is Article 3. All in all, the declaration, which is a non-binding statement which over the years has become largely reflective of international customary law, contains 30 articles which offer protection to basic human rights that appear in most domestic constitutions, including due process, prohibition against torture, freedom of expression, right to privacy, right to vote, as well as socioeconomic rights such as the right to food, to shelter, and to education. Since individual rights were protected in domestic law, especially in national constitution, from the 18th century onwards, from the French Constitution, the United States Bill of Rights, a question does arise regarding the reason why it was deemed necessary by states to regulate the issue of human rights protection at the global level, therefore moving from a concept of constitutional rights to universal human rights. This appears to relate to a question which is very much related to our discussion here, that is the failure of states in the first half of the 20th century to withstand political pressures and turbulences and to protect the rights of their own citizens against state power applied by extreme political forces and regimes, and the failure of interstate rules to adequately protect the rights of civilians and other states who fell victims to violence, oppression, occupation, and mass atrocities. It is against this backdrop that the New World Order, introduced in 1945, was founded on lofty moral principles, including the renunciation of war and respect for human rights. This is also why the United Nations moved to pierce the veil of sovereignty and to hold states accountable for violations of human rights by creating norms and institutions dedicated to promoting and protecting human rights. Although the relevant norms and institutions deal with matters traditionally regarded as internal matters of state, the acceptance by states of international human rights law has been widely regarded as compatible with the notion of sovereignty and state consent as a principal basis for international regulation. In practical terms, the promotion and protection of human rights has developed in two sets of avenues, constituting a matrix of norms, institutions, and venues.